Hey everyone, it's Metal Kid Doc, back for another Leafgreen video. In the last part, we set off on our Pokemon adventure and got our starter Pokemon. We got Lettuce the Bulbasaur. And in this episode, we are going to take on our first dungeon. We'll see what it is when we get there, but for now, let's head off. Well now that I've had my coffee, and that's what I need to get going. What's that red box you have? Ah, so you're working on your Pokédex. Then let me give you a word of advice. Whenever you catch a Pokemon, the Pokédex automatically updates its data. We caught like 4 Pokemon already, and well, this is a catching tutorial essentially, is what this guy's gonna do. What? You don't know how to catch Pokemon? Like I said, I've caught 4 before. So I suppose I better show you then. And he encounters a Weedle. We're gonna encounter that pretty soon, honestly. I'll save my thoughts for, like, that Pokemon when we get to the dungeon. And since we chose Bulbasaur, we're gonna kind of struggle in the first dungeon. But we need to start training because there is a rival rematch we can do. We can fight the rival on Route 22. And I want to level up because right now Lettuce would get creamed if I decided to try it. Okay, he's going to give us a TGTV, which is like, you know, extra tutorial stuff since this game kind of is... I was going to say, this game is a lot more tutorial friendly. It's between this game and Sun and Moon where it's kind of tutorial handy. I'd say Sun and Moon more so because it has a lot more cutscenes and a lot more like tutorial stuff, and it goes on for a lot longer. But once you get past the first gym of this game, then they stop kind of holding your hand. And I mean for Leafgreen, not for Sun and Moon. It takes a bit longer for that one. But yeah, I didn't like do any off-screen grinding yet. And speaking of like, I don't know what I was going to say speaking of, I don't know how that segues into my next topic, but I did come up with like 6 members for my team. And let's just keep going let's just head on to the dungeon while we're discussing this. So I've got 6 party members I've already come up with, and I'm not going to be using Mankey. Yeah, big shocker. I was thinking of using Mankey, but then I kind of decided against it because he's a fast Pokemon, but he's a bit frail. He's strong, but he does not take hits well. And I'm going to be having a lot of speedy Pokemon on my team. That's just a little heads up for y'all. Tata. Might as well do a little bit of attacks before we go in. And besides, yeah. There's a stronger fighting type we're gonna get later in the game, so we're gonna not really have a second party member for a little bit. Honestly, you're gonna have to wait for a little bit to see my second party member. So Lettuce is gonna get a lot of experience in that. But let's head into our first dungeon. Are you going into Viridian Forest? It's a natural maze in there. Be careful and don't get lost. Yep, Viridian Forest is our first dungeon. Rattata may be small, but don't underestimate its wicked bite. Have you caught one already? Oh, yes, I have. And trust me, they don't bite that much. They don't learn that move until later. But yep, our first dungeon is Viridian Forest, and it's a bug type's paradise, so that's why we're going to kind of struggle as a grass type in here. But I completely forgot to restock on Pokeballs, so I might have to come back in a second here, but I'm going to see if I have any more Pokeballs left. Yeah, I have 1 more. So I might as well catch this Pokemon. It's a Caterpie. It's your standard early game bug type. It evolves very early, so if you want to complete the Pokédex, then it's worth catching. And of course I'm going to catch it. Hopefully I catch it first try. It would suck if I lost. My 1 Pokeball was... Okay, come on. Neat. Okay. So we will go back, heal, and also we will grab ourselves some more Pokeballs since I forgot to stock up on some. I wrote it down on my notes too, so that kind of sucks that I didn't pay attention to my own notes. But Hey, it's alright. We all make mistakes, and besides, I caught one new Pokemon, so I can always store it away. And it kind of sucks that we're kind of at this walking speed, but that's gonna change later on. One thing that does kind of stink, though, is that you don't start off with the running shoes. Yeah, that's what we're gonna get later on. It's one of the few games to do that, which kind of sucks, but hey, it's alright. Things will get much better, and besides, walking at this pace lets me at least come up with topics faster. Oh right, Pokeballs. Duh. I don't know why I just came here to heal and not deposit Caterpie and get Pokeballs. Well, I just got off work, so I had a little bit of a rough shift, so maybe that's kind of why I'm blanking out. But, yeah, Pokeballs, 200 Poke, so, yeah, not too bad at all. Or we can just call it, say, $200, whatever. It's supposed to be kind of like... It wouldn't cost $200 in real life. It'd probably cost, like, I don't know, $2 if this was real life. It's supposed to be kind of like yen or something. But it's Pokemon dollars. Just call it whatever you like. I'm just gonna say dollars, even though it doesn't make sense financially. Because why would you spend $200 on a Pokeball when they're common and they can be found on the ground? Oh, speaking of that, there's that item behind that bush you can grab early. You won't have the ability to take down that bush, but you can go behind it and you can get yourself... Okay, I already took it. Never mind. Okay. Well, we are going to fight our rival. He's on this route. If you go up to that road there, you will have a rematch with them, but I want to wait until Lettuce is stronger before we take him on and rematch him. I want to get embarrassed by him. So let's continue. Got ourselves some Pokeballs. And for the rare encounters, I'm going to actually cut away from those because it kind of takes away from the video. So there is a rare encounter in Viridian Forest, and we won't really... You guys won't see them unless we get lucky, of course, but I'm not expecting to catch them, and I'll probably just catch them off screen. I'll mention them, though. Pikachu can be found in Viridian Forest. And Pikachu's an iconic Pokemon. It's their first electric type option if you want to grab an electric type. And it could be a good temporary party member. So, I could catch him off screen, but there are a few more Pokemon I want to catch. Here's the evolved form of Caterpie. It's Metapod. All it knows is Harden, so yeah, I'm gonna Leech Seed it and hope I catch it with Pokeballs. Because it's just gonna spam Harden and the battle's just gonna go on forever, man. So might as well do as much damage as I can to catch this thing. Yeah, it evolves at level 7, so you get this thing before Caterpie evolves. You can get it. It's not worth training over Caterpie because Caterpie actually has an attacking move. But I just want to catch Metapod so I don't have to go through the trouble of trying to evolve it. Of course, I'm gonna evolve it into its final form, Butterfree, when we off screen. But I'm not actually gonna be, using it on the team. Bug Pokemon in this game tend to be pretty weak. There are only really 2 options, I would say, that are pretty good. And one of them can only be found in Fire Red, and the other doesn't learn any bug moves, so it's more just a normal type with a bug skin coating. That's the best way I can describe it. Just basically a normal type with a bug typing, because it can only learn fighting and normal moves, which is kind of ridiculous. Get in the ball already, Metapod. Might have to weaken it a bit more. Didn't realize that Metapods are so stubborn to get in a Pokeball, but hey. I will... You know what? Yeah, I'll wait. Wait, no, I don't want to throw another Pokeball. I wanna weaken it a little more before I get it in the red. Because that's probably your best opportunity to catch a Pokemon when it's in the red. trust me, we're gonna get into... This video might be a bit longer because I do want to get through this entire dungeon and do the rematch today. Also, there's one thing I did change off screen, and I changed the battles from shift to set. So that way, battles are like... Battles are a lot more difficult. So for those who don't know, shift and set, like, pretty much, you will see once we get into a trainer fight, but essentially, it means you can't switch out when... Yeah, we can just demonstrate it with this Pokemon fight here. Our first actual trainer battle. That is not the rival. We have Bug Catcher Rick, and he sends out a Weedle. And I forgot to deposit Caterpie, but that's okay. I think one of the advantages of having Bulbasaur in this dungeon is you can't be poisoned at all. Because he's part poison. At least I think so. Yeah, no, he is. So you can't poison. I thought you can't poison types, but I could be wrong. I think steel types are the only thing. So, yeah, I definitely could be wrong on that whole, like, being able to poison a poison type, but... Yeah, you see? Usually when you have shift out, it says, do you want to switch Pokemon? Well, no, I'm not doing that, because I really want fights to be more dynamic. I'll turn shift on whenever I'm grinding, but if I'm like, you know, doing actual fights for the... I'm gonna actually try to make the fights more interesting so I don't have to switch. And if I do try to switch, I basically have to deal with the attacks the trainers do. It feels a lot more fair and challenging, because I played this game so many times. So, I will try to describe what, like, Pokemon's moves are once we get to, like, boss fights and such. But, for now, this will just be how it goes. Also, we're gonna get a lot of experience. You get a lot more experience from trainer fights than freaking wild battles. So it's always good to fight trainers when you see them. So yeah. Anyway, let's see. You can't dream out if you're a Pokemon trainer. Fighting some Weedles. Okay. You're gonna use String Shot, and technically it should be its evolved form, which we haven't seen yet. But yeah, it should have evolved by now, because both Weedle and Caterpie evolve at level 7. But I guess he just doesn't like... I guess he just likes having Weedle more than a freaking, you know... I'm not saying it until we find it, or until we encounter it. It's kind of ridiculous, but hey, whatever. Let's see. Hey, level 10, let's go. Let's see if we learn new moves now. Ooh, Vine Whip! Finally, we get a grass move. And like I said about grass moves, even though it's called Vine Whip, it's a special move. Let's see if it does a lot more damage than Tackle, even though, technically speaking, it should do a little less. It should do a little less than yeah, okay, figures. But essentially why I wanted to test Tackle Vine Whip was, well, one, I wanted to demonstrate a new move. Two, I thought, like, Bulbasaur's Vine Whip would do a lot more than Tackle because of its nature. And yeah, I looked up the nature while I was at work today, and I found out that a modest nature actually lowers your attack, but it increases your special attack, which is honestly pretty good for Bulbasaur, because Bulbasaur is known for being either tanky or known for its special attack. It's not known for its physical attack. There are later Pokemon, later grass types that are known for their physical attack, but not Bulbasaur. It's clearly supposed to be sort of a tank slash... Oh, yep, here it is, Kakuna. The evolved form of Weedle. It's essentially Metapod. It's Metapod 2.0. I just realized I was kind of being a hypocrite because I did mention Butterfree, and I'll mention its evolved form for Kakuna, Beedrill. They're okay Pokemon. You wouldn't catch me using them in like the late game because pretty much bug types in this game, like I said, if it's not a Pinsir or a Scyther, it's pretty much not worth your time in this game. And even then, they get better in later generations. So yeah. Which kind of sucks because there's a certain type of Pokemon that are weak to bugs and they're like overpowered, so I'll go on that tangent later. I like holding things off because I just like making things more of a mystery, I guess. Even though technically maybe people have played this game before, so they could just look it up. But I like explaining things in the moment, dang it. That's just how I go. Speaking of the later generations, honestly, I think Pokemon's gotten a bit better nowadays. Like, I'm honestly in the camp that thinks Generation 6 or X and Y was kind of my least favorite. There wasn't many new Pokemon introduced, and they focused a little hard on the Megas. I guess that's kind of more, like, personal opinion, and yes it is. Because there's a lot of people like Gen 6, and I'll give them credit. There's some good things about Gen 6, but it's just not my favorite at all. In fact, it's my least favorite generation. I thought Gen 8 was actually pretty good. The National Dex cut was pretty, like, not good at all. And I thought, well, it could have been handled much better, but I like the new Pokemon. They're good. There's freaking Toxtricity. I like the Poison Electric guy. That's cool. There's a lot of good typings, like a Poison Dragon type legendary. It's about time we got a Poison Dragon type. I just like Poison in general, and it's way better in the later gens. But yeah. And then there's of course there's some other good Pokemon too. Like the starters are honestly pretty decent. They got some good moves. Like you got the ability Sniper for a starter, which is cool, because it basically makes things like beams and such 100% accurate. And you can, like, pretty much it's just... That's for the water starter, which I picked. The fire starter has a move that changes its typing in general, which, if you know about Greninja and how OP it was with its ability to change type with the move Protein, Libro is a pretty good ability. And I haven't really used Rillaboom, but I heard it has some merits. Not my favorite set of starters whatsoever, though, because honestly, I'd say my favorite set has to go to Generation 3 starters. You know, frickin' Trico, Mudkip, and Torchic. They're pretty good. I've used all of them in a playthrough before, and each of them has their own merits. Like, there's limited fighting types in Emerald, so, like, frickin' Blaziken's like a really powerful fighting type to have, and it's a fire type as well, so it's the first of its kind too, which I gotta give credit to. It pioneered fire fighting. You have a ground and water, which is a really good typing, and then frickin' Sceptile's the only exception, but grass type. But it's the fastest grass type in Generation 3, so I could give it a lot of credit there. But yeah, there's just gonna be a lot of training and me talking about Pokemon. Oh, speaking of, like, just talking about things, I gotta talk about what my channel going forward. So, yeah, the zombies videos, I'm gonna continue doing those at some point, Easter egg stuff, but just not. It's not gonna immediately happen, but you might see maybe an Easter egg run of some maps I haven't played, but I've pretty much played all of BO3's Easter eggs, so expect maybe something from BO4, Cold War. And I might upload that someday. Pretty much the Easter eggs I have left to do on Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 3 are multiplayer exclusive, which kind of sucks. I mean, there isn't really any mods to play the solo Easter eggs on. Like, there's no plutonium for BO1, I think. I mean, technically there's Reimagined, but I tried the Shangri-La Easter egg on Reimagined, and trust me, it's impossible. I could probably do Ascension, maybe. Ascension could be fun. And of course, BO4 has some good maps and good Easter eggs I could try out, like freaking Dead of the Night. But expect a lot more content than just Pokemon as well, so eventually I will branch out to more LPs. And I will do more Pokemon games too. Pokemon is really good, and I could go generation-wise and do like Generation 2 and Generation 3. So if I ever did a Let's Play, I could do like Mystery Dungeon as well. That's also a good series. But yeah, I'm thinking if I ever do another Pokemon game, I might do Heart Gold actually. So yeah, my friend who I mentioned and who I named my rival after, he actually responded to me about that, and he was surprised I didn't do Soul Silver, and I didn't pick frickin' Totodile, so his starter would be Chikorita. Because Chikorita's his favorite starter, it's his boy. And honestly, I am inclined to agree that Chikorita's underrated. Because a lot of people just see it as kind of the ugly stepsister of the group. And, well, it's not my favorite. In fact, I kind of think it is my least favorite. It's really good, and I think it's underrated. Because you got, like, it can learn some good moves with the sun. It can like, learn Sunny Day and use Solar Beam and all that. It's defensive, which is always a plus. And I just think it's good when when in the right hands, and it's weak against a lot of early fights, but it's fine. Like, I don't really mind. I wouldn't mind if like the Johto starters got some new typings and new forms. That'd be cool. I mean, Typhlosion technically did, but not Chikorita and Feraligatr. Like, imagine a Grass Dragon version of Chikorita or Meganium. That'd be really cool. The hairy bug Pokemon. That's weird. That's an odd description. Let's see. I have a lot of Pokemon. I could try to evolve some, but I'll do the training of these bugs off screen. Let's see. I might also start editing some of these videos, so that way I can cut out, like encounters and all that. I don't know how I'm going to work with editors software, but I'll make it work. I don't really practice for these things because there's a chance I could run into a really rare variant of a Pokemon called a Shiny, and I don't want to run into, like, freaking Shiny Pokemon while I'm practicing. Like, I think I'm just really paranoid, and it could technically happen. So I just kind of do things on the fly. Oh, and great, it's a Metapod. It's gonna just spam Harden. Okay, and I didn't do too much damage to it, so yeah, we're pretty much just locked in, just dealing with the frickin' Harden spam here. I'm also considering doing some other Let's Plays as well, alongside this one. This might not be the only LP I do for a while. I might do one on the side. Could be fun. But I might as well go over why Generation 6 is my least favorite. I think it's my least favorite because, one, it introduces little new Pokemon. It's more like, it does rely a lot more on the older generation, and hell, even one of the areas is literally a clone of literally one of the dungeons is just a clone of Viridian Forest, which is kind of sad. And the gym leaders are not really memorable. The story, I think the story is cool, but like it would have benefited from a third version, or if it had more time put into it. Like, literally, Zygarde, it was just shafted for Generation 7, and there was other legendaries that would have been cool for, like, post-game stuff. It has, okay, that's another thing I don't like about Generation 6. There's a lack of a post-game in it. And, well, technically I could say, like, Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby technically have a better post-game, and it's a Gen 6 game. I'm referring more to X and Y. You only really have you really only have the Friend Safari and Battle Mason. Which, by the way, I kind of found dumb that they took that away. They took away the Battle Frontier from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Like, you could have had a lot more content. You could have just had some... You have a Battle Tower in, like, Generation 8, and you have the Battle Tree, which is actually a really cool idea. I'm just surprised Generation 6 didn't really have... There isn't really much... Besides catching legendaries in Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, there isn't really much to do afterwards, except for rematch gym leaders, I think. Who knows, I might replay it and I might see there's a lot more to do, but... That's kind of what I think about the later gens. If you're wondering what I think the golden age of Pokemon is, I'd say, like, this game was, like, the experimental, like predecessor before it got, like, to the golden age, but I think Generation 4 and 5 are the big ones, and technically I can include Generation 3 into this pile as well, where it's like, I felt like it was, like, really good around that time. You had, like, Black and White 2, you had Heart Gold and Soul Silver, you had Platinum, and Diamond and Pearl, like, I liked them back then, and they were a little outdated, but you have Platinum to play instead of playing Diamond and Pearl. But Diamond and Pearl can be fun if you, in the right hands. It's not too slow, but I just prefer to play Platinum since it's a sister game. That's kind of the same thing I feel about Ruby and Sapphire, but with Ruby and Sapphire, I can kind of forgive it, I guess. I just think Emerald has a lot more to do. And then you got, of course, the spin-offs, of course. Need I mention those? You got Explorers of Sky, you got the Shadow games in Generation 3. You got, of course, this game in Fire Red. You just got a whole smorgasbord of good games. And I think it's been getting better, honestly. Like, Legends Arceus was so good. And I'm optimistic that, what's it called? I'm optimistic about Scarlet and Violet. I just hope they spend enough time on it. Like, if they spend more time with it, that'd be good. Because I don't want another rushed game. And I want there to be a lot more things to do. Let's continue. Okay. There's another Metapod. Could try to catch a Kakuna. But, you know what? Let's fight the last trainer in here, go heal, and then fight the rival. Because we're almost done with this dungeon. And I want to save Brock for the next episode, because I did kind of spoil he would be the first boss. There is something about my team that does kind of suck, and you'll notice it later. Oh, can evade the attack, of course. But there is one thing that sucks about my team, but I kind of compensated for that, which is a lot of my team is going to be weak to ground, which, yeah, there are 4 Pokemon that are weak to ground on my final team, but half of the Pokemon that are weak to ground can snap back with, like, super effective moves, so it's kind of like, really only 2 are weak to ground fully. And I'm using Pokemon that are kind of underrated. Pokemon that, like, you wouldn't really see used on a team, or you wouldn't see used on most teams. Like, Pokemon that tend to be overshadowed. That's kind of my theme. I also have another theme that involves using weather effects, which we'll get into way later. But, yeah, Bulbasaur is, of course, I think the most underrated starter, even though it's pretty popular on the internet. I just noticed a lot more people tending to pick Charmander or Squirtle. And it's just gotten the reputation of being underrated, so I just decided, hey, why not use Bulbasaur? And besides, it's gonna be important for later stuff, too. Okay, I'm not fully ready to take on the rival yet, just because there's a certain move I want to learn before we, there's a certain move I want Bulbasaur to learn before we continue the jerk, before we decide to fight the rival. Or the jerk. Well, we're at Pewter City, which is, of course, where I said the first boss is, and that's probably what we're going to do next episode, but for now, let's heal. And I said I'd probably put away the... I said I'll put away the... I'll put away the bugs. I'll grind them up later. No, not... I wouldn't literally do the grind them up. That'd be kinda... Bugs do not taste good. But I just mean I will get them to their final forms and, you know, make them strong. I'm trying to complete the deck, so I will try to, you know, train them up. And the only time I'm really going to do off-screen grinding is if there's, like, a party member who's weak, but... Okay, no. What I'm going to say is, I'm only really going to do off-screen grinding for... I'm only going to do off-screen grinding for Pokemon that are not going to be on my team. That's my only caveat. I'm not going to train up anyone who's on my team fully. And of course I'm going to catch rare Pokemon off-screen, because they're, like, freaking rare to find. I might run into the rare Pokemon, I already said it's Pikachu. I might run into a Pikachu on the way back, but I'm going to focus more on trying to... I'm going to focus more on trying to get to level 14 before our fight, because I think that's when our Bulbasaur can learn the move I'm wanting him to learn. So yeah, I'm going to have to grind up on wild Pokemon a bit, which is fine. I'm just going to do it on the way back. Like I said, Bulbasaur takes a little bit of investment, but once you, but he gets good later on. I'd say Squirtle's like the intermediate, and then Charmander is just good from the get-go once it gets its first fire move. Because in this gen, I said it gets Metal Claw, and that's like, that destroys the first boss. Let's see. No, I'm not gonna fight him. I could technically go and wait to catch a Kakuna as well, so that way I don't have to evolve Weedle, but like I said, I'm doing this off screen. I'm not gonna do all that training for those Pokemon later. Am I gonna use them in fights? I think I will mention when I'm gonna use a Pokemon like as a temporary party member, because I don't want Bulbasaur to be over leveled. Lettuce should not be over leveled. I kind of want it to be fair. I want there to be fair fights against trainers. Okay, I'll wait to see frickin' where. I might use Pikachu temporarily, just because there is a Pokemon that the rival's gonna have that could really be... I was gonna say that could be really painful if it knows flying moves. I think it does know flying moves, so he has a Pidgey. He's gonna have a Pidgey. So, he's gonna have a Pidgey and a Charmander, so I could always run Pikachu just because... Yeah, it's gonna be a pain. I'll try to grind up to level 15, because I think that's when Bulbasaur learns the move I want him to learn. But yeah. These videos might actually be more 40 minutes long instead of 30 minutes long, and I can't promise you to catch every Pokemon, but I'm going to catch most of the version exclusives, and I'll try to get Pokemon up to their, evolutions, because there are Pokemon that evolve only by trading, which I can't do on an emulator, so can't catch those guys, but I will try to catch Pokemon that I can technically evolve. Don't want to spend too much time doing off-screen stuff. So I'm just going to train up to level 15 and then go ahead and fight my rival, then maybe call it after that. Hey, Kakuna! Well, I'm going to catch Kakuna just because it saves me time. I think it's level 14 or it's level 15. But regardless, I will... Oh, come on! Okay, critical hit. I was trying to catch it, but... Okay, Bulbasaur, fine. Be that way. Well, I might as well grind up on whatever I find here. Oh wait, no, there's another Kakuna. Okay, I can try my luck on this one. Boop. Oh, okay, good. I'm gonna rely on Leech Seed because I'm scared that one more tackle will finish it off. I could use Vine Whip, but I'm kind of scared that it's gonna just die to a crit again. Lettuce is not lucky, I gotta say. He has a little bit of unlucky moments, but he is getting stronger, so he can overcome his luck. And you know what they say? Oh, wow, okay, perfect. Oh, okay, please don't die. Please do not die from the leech life, I swear. Please don't, please don't, please don't. Okay, good. This is probably our one chance to throw a Pokeball on it. And it's our one Pokeball, too. Come on, please, come on, Kakuna, get in the ball. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Thought I had it. Oh well. You will contribute to the growth of lettuce. You will grow into a stronger Pokemon because of your sacrifice. Yeah, this is the best way to grind, by the way, for now. But yeah, I think I might be right about the theory that Bulbasaur can't be poisoned. Because it's poison type itself. Then again, I do know that there's a move that Beedrill can learn that can poison steel types. But I just don't know. I'm not 100% sure that poison types can be poisoned. But I think I can somewhat confidently say that might be true. That's why I haven't been poisoned yet by, poison sting. I know this is gonna be grinding a bit. I'm gonna be grinding a bit here, but just bear with me, guys. Okay. It would be cool if we ran into Pikachu. Because I would try to... Oh, right, I don't have any Pokeballs. But it'd be cool to see, at least. I'm not going back to get any more Pokeballs. I just want to grind up and fight the rival now. Like I said, I'll catch Pikachu off screen probably for the later portions, because there is another fight where Bulbasaur is gonna have a bit of a tough time, even though he is pretty strong against one Pokemon. I'm just gonna say the second boss is probably where we're gonna bring Pikachu to the fight, just as a temporary thing, because the second Pokemon's boss, I think the second Pokemon's top Pokemon, or its ace. Or her ace Pokemon is a Psychic type, or part Psychic. I think he can use Psychic moves, which is not good because Bulbasaur's part Poison, like I said. Also, for those who watch Ethan's channel, the Persona 3 Let's Play is still going on. We're just doing course correction, as they call it. Where, like, we made a mistake earlier in the LP and we're trying to correct it and then get back to where we left off. And Ethan's doing that on his time. So, for those who watch Persona 3 LP, expect that to come up at some point. Also, I'm going to be doing these videos in batches, so you might see more than one video today, but I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to focus on doing these videos daily, because doing them daily is pretty nice. And I'll set them up for like later dates too. That way, you guys, if I have something to do, I'll have it upload at least for that day. Nope, it's level 15. That sucks. I could always attempt the rival fight now and see what happens. You know what? No, I'm not waiting for the move now. I think at this point, we're level 14. Let's just take on the rival. I will try to use as little items as possible, but I'm gonna see if I can take him on my own. I might lose again, and I'm fairly certain I will lose. me just heal real quick. You know, I might as well... Okay, I'm starting to feel less confident now that I think about it, because my main strategy involves me getting a move that relies on status. For now, I'll buy some Pokeballs for later. And I'll bring a potion to the fight, too. Okay, I have 4 potions, so I'll keep my 5 potions. Okay. And trust me, things will get a lot better once we get the running shoes. But for now, we're just stuck with the slow walking. I think grinding over here is better because I'm right by the area you encounter the rival. Plus, Vine Whip does a lot more damage too against Mankeys. So yeah, I will be kind of crazy and grind to level 15 here. Trust me, it will be worth it in the end, guys. I might edit this out, maybe. So who knows? Yeah, no, you know what? I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna be like Bulbasaur and be more like the patient type. That's probably our best goal. Just to be as patient as possible and we can defeat our rivals with time. And at least they're Mankeys, so I can just take them out, beat them up. We've already got a good grass move now, so we could technically do some damage to his first Pokemon, Ethan's first Pokemon. Can't wait until I get the running shoes, mate. I know it's a slog, but hey, be patient with me. It will all be worth it in the end. Let me see here. Yeah, it's got some good special attack. Look at that. I'm making sure everything's good. And of course the move I'm going to replace with the new move I'm hoping to get on level 15 is I'm definitely hoping to... If it doesn't come at level 15, then I just feel like the fool for just grinding. But, hey. Let me check it out. Ignore that notification. That was just my computer because I'm pulling up the status. Let's see. on already. This is boring. Grinding is so boring. This is the bane of any person playing an RPG. Let me see here. I just want to find Bulbasaur's freaking. Okay. Just trying to find Bulbasaur's freaking learn set here. Generation 3. What is it in Generation 3? Okay, he does learn at next level, so what I'm doing is an Indane. Okay. We're almost there, people. It's the training arc for Lettuce. That's what this has become. You have to overcome your weakness. Fight the bug types. And hey, look, Sphero. Just took one grinding session to find another one. Yeah, I don't think it's 10% at this point, because literally, it took like so long for me to find one in the last episode, and now it just takes forever to show up here. So I'm starting to think that 10% feels more like freaking 1% at this point, which makes me scared for when I'm gonna go off screen and find a Pikachu. Spearow? I think Spearow gives you more XP. Oh, so close! Level 14, or I want to become level 15. I think after this level up, I'm gonna go back and heal and... Yep, level 15, let's go! Trying to learn Poison Powder, that's not the move you want to learn. No. Stop, yeah. It's trying to learn Sleep Powder, yeah, that's the move we want to learn. Sleep Powder. It puts your opponent to sleep. I could have also gotten rid of a move, but I want to keep Sleep Powder, because Sleep Powder is, I'd say, more reliable for catching Pokemon, and basically it makes it so your opponent can't move a turn. And it continues until... So yeah, Sleep Powder. It's going to be very helpful for catching Pokemon, because using status on a Pokemon actually makes it easier to catch. So if I did cut ahead to grinding, I don't know if I'm going to edit that out. I could, and it could be much more entertaining for that. But if I do, then, well, welcome back. I'm still planning this LP out, and there's going to be a lot of bumps on the way, but finally, we get to end this video off by fighting our rival. Rematch. Or should we end it here? It could be fun to do 2 boss fights in one video. Then again, you know what? No, I'm not keeping the viewers waiting for this. Let's make sure. We're all healed up. We're ready to do this. Hey, Doc! You're off to the Pokemon League! Forget about it! You probably don't even have any badges, do you? The guard won't let you through without them. By the way, did your Pokemon get any stronger? Oh, you have no idea. Bring it on, Ethor. Bring it on. He has a Pidgey first. Level 9. We're a bit higher level, so I'm hoping Sleep Powder hits. Yeah, there we go. Always gonna do some status on it. So essentially what it does is, yeah, like it says, you can't move a turn now. Like I said earlier, can't move a turn in. I'm gonna use Leech Seed and actually get health, get residual health as we fight this Pidgey down. This is revenge. This is revenge for getting 2 crits on me. Ah! We're strong. We hit stronger too, so that's good. I'm a little scared for his starter because his starter now knows the same type attack bonus. Oh, and he's gonna use Sand Attack. That's also what I was worried about for this fight, but he used it once, so hopefully things won't get crappy. But if it does, then well, damn. I tried. Sleep Powder! Oh, I missed. Yeah, he's gonna use Scratch. Okay. Could be wrong that he has fire moves, but I'm not gonna test things to find out. I wanna keep it safe. I wanna play it safe. Just in case he does have a fire move. Gonna Leech Seed him. This is a pretty good strat for the early game. Come on. There we go, we got our health back, too. Boom! And do some damage to him, too. Take that. Come on, let's finish him off. Oh, and he woke up. Oh, and he uses Growl, okay. I think he had a fire move, but he just refused to use it. He's not playing it smart anymore. There we go, we beat him! Let's go! And with that, we've beaten our rival. Oh, you just lucked out! Well, I guess I did, but hey, I take my luck, and I destroy you with it. So quit dawdling and get a move on already. I can imagine he's just so, like, annoyed that I just use Sleep Powder on him. They're like, spamming status moves. That doesn't make you any good, you know. Or something like that. It'd be in character. It'd be in character for Gary, or, well, the rival. Or in this case, Ethor. Not Ethor in real life, but you know what I mean. I made the joke. Oh, that grinding paid off, though, since that was probably the big reason why we won that fight. So, yeah. Let's end this off. And in the next time, I will see you guys at Pewter City next time. But yeah, this has been Metal Kid Doc, and I'm signing out. No, that's a crappy outro. Next time, we will be taking on Brock. And hopefully getting those running shoes. No. I'm not good with outros. Anyway, next time we will be taking on Brock and continuing on our journey. We will see you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. This is Metal Kid Doc signing out. There.